Kia tawa sabari shina ko kia tawa sabaro plashu. La ko tawa sabari e sama otoru gushiki. Seva samori ukoyami e teva sabari vishe. Indaya sopo unshuku yana elahi te gondovi kia shano. Shi jave shino to unkia I shisupuru kungaya te teviaso. So just getting ready to create some more shamanic spirit art. So thank you for joining me once again as I share these symbols that I'm downloaded from. I'm hearing right now even my own multidimensional shamans. Like each and every one of us are multidimensional beings, and I know and have always known, probably all my life, that this was a part of who I am. And once I understood my own multidimensionality and understanding parallel universes, parallel lives, fractals, soul fractals, oversouls, and so forth, I began to understand that a lot of this information are stories from those shaman. So once again, this is just an impromptu video. I was doing other things and was getting that urge, that push, that pull, whatever you want to call it, that intention, inspiration, that's what I want to call it, inspiration from my shamanic guides to bring these stories to all of you. And a lot of these symbols, that's what I'm getting goosebumps actually. A lot of these stories a lot of these symbols are stories, star stories, stories of those aspects of me and their story, and to remind us all that even though we don't really understand, at least most of us, quantum physics, we do understand that quantum means what there is no barrier, there is no space, there is no time, that all agreements, all of these things that we have designed for ourselves to walk these paths. And again, remember, we're all just source expressing itself in all in all the ways it can as us. And we are the eyes and ears and hearts and minds of source. We're all created from that one same particle. So when we understand from a quantum physics standpoint that if we're all a different perspective of the same one God particle, that we begin to realize in a more quantum way our connections to all of these things. And more importantly, to remind ourselves that we are always more than we think we are. We're always supported and surrounded by more than we understand or realize. And so through these symbols, I receive the information, the libraries, the downloads. Some of it comes through in light language, some of it comes through in English language, some of it comes through in song, voice, tones, hand signs, things that just naturally come through me, that I'm not really, it's not that I'm thinking about it, or it's just that it sort of comes literally through my own spirit. And these are aspects of, we're all spirit and we're all part of this. And once we understand that we're all part of that same one particle, it begins to break down these daily beliefs in our lives about ourselves and about what we really are, what consciousness is. And as we begin to embrace and sort of feel the energy in these languages and in these symbols, we're literally, as we gaze upon them, and all of us, me included, is as we gaze upon them, trace them with our fingers, draw them, print them. That's why I was guided to create all these journals, to get them out in the world so that people can begin to allow the information like literally right now, I can almost not feel my body. It's kind of a strange experience, but it's like I'm vibrating right now in this frequency that literally I feel as if my physical body is like I begin to understand how our physical bodies are created within our consciousness. Our consciousness isn't inside of our body. It's the opposite. So as we begin to wake up and again this morning, as a matter of fact, just right now, I'm hearing, I was, if you've ever watched Wally Brown, the Navajo teachings, every time I listen to him, I'm remembering, I'm connecting with my aspects of the Native American parts of me, and there's so many synchronicities in my own personal life as a child and where I grew up, and how I was leaving myself breadcrumbs all of that time. And so the more that I'm downloaded with these symbols, the more I'm understanding that these are information and stories from other aspects of me. But yet, I'm also reminded that we're sharing these oversouls, you and me, and that we're a part of these. If I could draw a diagram, how really, if we just look at the tree of life, that's really the only, I think, diagram we need, is that we really are this one tree, all little leaves, sparkling little leaves, having its own experience, yet we're all still connected to the same one tree, and we may not even realize that. The tree itself may not even realize, although I think that they're probably realize it more than we do. Honestly, as I connect more and more with the nature spirits and trees, you like innately get these downloads from this information, which is one of the reasons why I was always guided to begin these videos at the start of this channel in nature. And like I said, I wasn't even planning to do this video. I just came down, I started drawing, I started shaking my pen. So what I was going to say about the Navajo is that I was listening to the most recent video, and they were talking about the rainbow and how the connection to the rainbow and the holy people and spirit, and how all of us use that idea of the rainbow as the bridge to the spirit world. Rainbows, the jackpot at the end. How we all just are mesmerized when we see a rainbow. And I don't even think we even understand why. I've been very connected to the Prism Collective. I used to channel them quite a bit. And so I create as many prisms in my house as I can with crystals. And so the more I understand about the Navajo traditions, the more I begin to learn more aspects about who I am. And all of the aspects of me, and how all of this shamanism idea and power and strength and knowledge so it's not just my connections as shaman, but all of you, all of us that have lived these lives, do live, not have lived, are living in concurrent parallel universes. This is be present, be present, be present. Is what I've been hearing the last few days. Being in the moment, being present, looking at the tree and that rock or the water, acknowledging the flower. When we are present, it literally opens us up to the entire all of creation. I can't explain how or why, but I do know that when we are my whole body is just vibrating, and I've got goosebumps, and because when we join together in these higher frequencies and we raise our frequency, we remember once again that we are having a physical experience, but we are a consciousness, and our consciousness is an infinite number of these lives and experiences. And the harmonic convergence I heard again this morning with the idea of the harmonic convergence and the rainbow, and seeing literally all of our true colors. And I know all this sounds so cliche, Yet that is what is happening. We're being invited more and more to understand that the past, and even for me, these last few days about my guides have been showing me too that you're not letting go of the past. A lot of us think that we have to let go of our past, and that's really not what's happening at all. We're not letting go of anything. We are embracing the multidimensionality that we already are. And with that understanding, that parallel universe, that life is still happening. And, they, she, you, he, whomever, and everything in between that. That's another reason why we use the rainbow. And there's colors again, which most of us, I think, really understand. We don't even see them all. There is beauty beyond in the cosmos and planets and dimensions, parallel realities that we can't even imagine the colors. We can't even imagine the beings within these parallel realities. They're nothing that we could actually physically describe in our world. We can't not even describe them. And yet we're interacting always with all of this. And we're doing it intentionally, whether we realize it or not, from a consciousness standpoint. So when we remember that that the past life, it's not like I let that go or I have to let that go, or it's understanding that it already is, it still is, it always will be. And then when we have a memory, literally we're just feeling the frequency, tapping into the frequency of that being, that which is still a part of you, a part of me, a part of us. So we're not letting go of the past. We're understanding that we are being invited and asked to, in our own spiritual awakening, and understanding what consciousness really is, that it's still an infinite stream, an infinite video, if you will, an infinite moment that will always be. And it's not about, I think the resistance with a lot of us and humans is thinking that we have to let all these things go. There's nowhere for us, there's nowhere for it to go. It's just we're understanding that it's a part of us, and which, again, if we understand that we are moving through billions and billions and billions of infinite parallel realities, every breath you take, there goes another billion. It's like we can't understand really, and yet these symbols, once again, they tell me, helps us understand this stuff. I don't know exactly how that works, but yet it has helped me and so many others. And thank you, all of you, for your feedback and your inviting of these symbols and asking for more of them, and putting them out in more ways that we all can utilize them as tools of the universe. And take them, leave them. Sometimes they don't have any kind, maybe you don't feel a single thing, but what I do know too is that we are all, especially now, more and more actively, and maybe it's not that we're doing it more, but I'm aware of more of us, how we're interacting in our dream states. And what I understand too now is that how, when we're opening ourselves to these new versions of Earth, because remember, we're not changing the version of Earth we're on. We're moving to a parallel reality version of that Earth that is closer to your core vibration in that moment. So whatever we're gathering information-wise from all of these parallel lives that we're sharing, and I'm being that we are literally changing our crystalline physical structure. And remember that this is, our body is in our consciousness. We're creating everything. Absolutely everything is created from our energy. We begin to break down those walls of belief systems of blame, guilt, sadness, remorse, regret, all of those. Did I already say that? All of those things. We begin to understand it. Transforming these ideas. That's why they call these transformational transmissions and transportational transmissions. They allow us to transform these thoughts, these belief systems, to be more in harmonic convergence with our true rainbow, with our true core vibration. And I have to laugh. This shirt is like really old and it's kind of grungy, but it's like one of my favorite shirts. And I threw it on this morning, and it's really about, I feel the holding of the hands and being in nature, and how literally how I feel even when I put it on. And so I understand that I've been activating people in a big way for a long time, and I understand that more and more now than ever. And as a teacher of teachers, and as are you, if you're sitting here and listening to this, so are you, in your own way, and however it is that you are teaching the teachers, because we are all way showers, and we are all illuminating the way for each other, brightening up the path for each other, so to speak. And every one of you that interacts, watches these videos, shares them, and interacts with me in sessions, and allowing me to bring through personal transformational and transportational transmissions of your own, to assist you in your process, to assist you in breaking. I don't even want to use the words. I want to use new language as far as breaking down and letting go. And I think that I feel I need to change the vocabulary. And sometimes we don't even have words to use to express what it is that we're experiencing. And this I find a lot with transmitting light languages, that there's the feeling and the power behind it. And I think each and every one of us receives our own interpretation of what it actually means. Yet I do receive like words of wisdom from my spirit guides as the transmissions come through in light language. It's like a carrier wave. Let me put it that way. It's almost like the light languages themselves, which are thought into form, thoughts into form, art forms, symbol form. They're thought forms that are brought to us in the only way that right now in our physical reality we can, and through ink and paper and pen and pencil and video and pictures and so forth. And sorry, where was I going with that? As more and more of us, the carrier wave of the light language and these symbols, it's almost as if they're showing me that it's like a train car, or it's like a vessel in which information can be conveyed to us through a thought form that I'm transmitting as a symbol, if that makes sense. I know this video is getting a lot longer than I actually didn't even intend to do this, so thanks for watching and bearing with me. And so I hope that this information is somewhat valuable, resonates with you a little bit. Again, I just was starting to draw, and this information just sort of comes through. And so allowing me to bring these to all of you for your own personal journey has been a sheer joy for me. And allowing the information that the symphony of source, as they're showing me now, and the rainbow and the colors, even like the prism of colors that's embedded into a symbol, even if the symbol is black on white background. They're showing me there's like this whole harmonic symphony of information that's conveyed in there, and each of us gets to hear and interpret a piece of music or anything, a piece of art, in our own subjective way, whatever it means to us. And it has always felt like these were conveyances of higher thought information, higher processing, like to enable us to become more crystalline bodies, to become physically better receptors, receivers of information from these other dimensions and spirit guides. And so that's where I was kind of guided to share with all of you today. And as I was beginning another piece of artwork, I was reminded about the rainbow and about the importance of, even gazing at the colors of the rainbow, and how even just us meditating on those things, and how we've actually designed our chakra system, because we did it. We all did it together in a conscious, collaborative communication to use colors and crystals and symbols and songs and all of these tools for all of us to simply know ourselves more fully, to explore more and more of all that we are. And that is simply all this is the ability to open up and explore more and more of our consciousness, and to understand that we've got billions and billions and we have an infinite number of physical and non-physical bodies and beings and energies and entities that we're just beginning to understand that we are. So as the Navajo explain how they have always been and still are always deeply, respectfully, honorably connected to the holy people, that which they call the holy people. And they have always understood that their sisters and brothers from the stars were always there guiding them, that their higher connections were always there. And this is what the shaman do, is reach out and bring in information that helps the community, and whether that's the entire collective consciousness of humanity community, or whether it's your own little community, whether it's the community of you, that information is the information never stopped being brought to us. It's that we're awakening more to hearing it, and hearing the songs of the universe, and understanding that from the very beginning. I had I don't know if it was a dream or I had a connection this morning in meditation to the founders, again, the beginning of where we all, I don't want to say where we all began, but how, and this gets a little bit deeper, which I don't want to get into in this video, but deeper into the idea of, how and when humanity became thought, and why, and where we're going with it all, and how exciting it is that we're all on this shamanic journey together. So wow, thanks guys. I didn't really mean for it to turn into this, so if you've stuck through it, thank you. But I know that all of you are absorbing every single thing that you can, and when I'm finished with the symbol, I will share it. I haven't even started it really yet. So I just sat down and got this download and turned on the camera, and so here we are. So thank you all. Oh, it's the Lion's Gate. Oh my God. it's 8-8, the Lion's Gate. How could I forget? It was like, I guess maybe that's part of how this all happened is that I was literally going through some of the items on my altar here, and I was like reminded that it was the Lion's Gate, and all of a sudden I just sat down and turned on the camera and started talking. So happy 8-8 Lionsgate. Typically I would be doing something live on this day, but we've had a lot going on, and so bear with me and bear with Dave and I as we get back into the swing of everything and getting more and more. He's here with me, doing more stuff and more live stuff and more events. And thank you all for watching. We do appreciate it, of course, and thank you and love you for subscribing to the website, for checking out the sessions, for there's now more symbols to be downloaded from the website, and it looks like I'm going to be offering more and more of these symbols to be sent out, maybe in a more public way. A lot of people have been asking me for like the last 9 years, if I had entertained the idea of actually creating them and shipping them to people, and signing them. And I do give, when I do a session, I get, you receive a video link to the video of the session, and also photographs, JPEGs of all of the drawings, all of the information, all the symbols that I receive for you before, during, and after our session, and digitally. So I'm exploring more and more of offering these things out in a physical way. And as I mentioned, and so we haven't really got it set up that way. So if it's something that you're interested in right away, just contact me through the website, languagesoflights.com. Of course, all of the links are below. And I appreciate you loving and sharing the comments, and your love that you send to me is just so expanding for me. So thank you, each and every one of you. And that's it. That's enough for today. Love you. Nyakove se poshore ilesha no to kivaso porinke ilezo borivia sono pela kajana ate kayomboro ko o varu kashipa tibiana keteva soporveseni kala soveshono o palakiate esete ngejaveshano to unkurum bashe taya anakelazo basoto unzuye patea ki leje to bienda ki shata baso malakondea ikishano palakotopa taveso molokoya ala sala ala kenyamanyo koshato koya. Thank you for holding my hand through this journey. And thank you, Dave, for holding my hand through this journey. Would you like to offer a blessing as well? Gatove on this 8-8 Lions Gate. Oh, and happy birthday to all you August birthdays, including Dave. And this is a very important month for all of us, for me, as I mean, Dave and I specifically, personally, but for all of us. So once again, as we join together in the energy of this Lions Gate portal, may we all remember our connections to our Sirius star system and our guides from Sirius, who are always present in our homes, in our hearts, and in our consciousness. Miato veche. I love you, I love you, I love you. Kaliato veso, kamiasha. Mwah. Tiasha. Mwah.